morning, everybody. Today is Sunday, and today is the day we're going to be having a march at the Health Minister's office here in Vancouver. Why are we going there? Because he and other officials are discussing and trying to implement, working on getting everybody to take vaccines. They've said that it's not mandatory, but at the same time, it's not a good situation. Anytime they talk about vaccines, I get a little nervous. The main reason I get nervous is because if you've watched videos like Vaxxed, and there's a new one that just came out called Vax 2, you'll know that these vaccines are less than safe. So why are they mandating these vaccines? Why are they pushing them on us when it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what's happening? And we all know the answer. Either they're stupid, they don't care. It could be they're stupid and they don't care, or they could be compromised. They want a paycheck, they want to make money and stuff like that. But it's our responsibility to fight back. Fighting back is not hard. Fighting back means sharing information. Fighting back means talking to your family, your friends, just having conversations, showing people the truth, giving people other information besides what you see on television news. Because on TV news, that's all they do is it's safe. It's safe. The science is 100% behind it. It's completely safe. Stop being an anti-vaxxer. And they coin these stupid terms, anti-vaxxer. I'm not against vaccines. I'm against vaccines that aren't safe. And unfortunately, in one way, I guess I am anti-vax because all vaccines aren't safe in this day and age. All the stuff they put in them, heavy metals, aluminum, I don't know if there's mercury in them, but they put urea formaldehyde in them. They also put actually thermosol, I think, is another one, which is actually another term for mercury. Aborted fetuses that have live cells in order to have the live virus in there, because that's what you're getting when you're getting injected with a virus. When you're getting injected with a vaccine, obviously you're getting a small dose of that virus, and then your immune system is supposed to build up immunity to that virus. But how about this? How about let's not take any vaccines at all, and let's let our immune system work on its own. God built us with an immune system, so I don't think we need any help from people like Bill Gates, also known as Bill Gates, the WHO, World Health Organization, and other corrupt entities that it doesn't take much of a rocket scientist to see that all of this is for a couple different things. The number one reason I would see it as being for money, and also because they, like I said in other videos, they want to put the chip in you and this and that. So, vaccines are completely unnecessary in this situation. We're talking about the common flu. And yes, I know there's vaccines for the common flu, but they rarely ever work. There's only about a 30% chance that they will protect you from the flu. So why the fuck are we gonna compromise our immune system, screw up our bodies, just because we want to be protected from COVID-19? And another thing is that COVID-19, if you haven't figured it out yet, 99.99999% of the population that gets it, or whatever, maybe it's not 99, well, I think it's 99, 98 anyways, they don't die. The people who are dying anyways, like I've said in so many other fucking videos, are the people who are immune compromised. Old people in care homes is such a large majority. So the fact that I even have to make these stupid videos talking about not taking vaccines is so ridiculous. There's so much information available right now that people taking these vaccines are seriously brain dead. And you've probably had too many vaccines to begin with. We have an immune system. Our immune system will take care of this COVID-19. Most people recover from this virus, no problem. And the thing is, by the end of the summer, all of the stupid COVID-19 stuff should be gone. And it could morph into something different. I don't know. So it goes back to the vaccines. Why do we need to take a vaccine if it's not even going to protect us from the actual flu that we're supposed to be protected from? this stuff is like so many layers of stupidity, corruption, and people that are misinformed, disinformed, and not informed. And it's just, I don't understand, and it's probably never going to happen where most of the population understands what's going on, but we're trying, so many people, millions of people are trying to inform other people about this because they're simply not paying attention. And that's just the way it is, but we're trying our hardest to get the information out there, sharing posts. It doesn't take much to start sharing information. And the thing is, once you start looking at this stuff, it clicks for most people very easily. Some people simply don't want to get it, and they're just going to have to be left in the dust, because I'm not going to continue sharing information with people who don't want to see it. That's fine. Everyone has their own opinion. I have my own opinion. You have your own opinion. And that's definitely the case. But at the end of the day, it is your choice, but it's my choice too. And the way they do this whole thing, and the reason we're doing our protest today in front of the Health Minister's office, Adrian Dix, on we're going down to Joyce Street, near the Joyce SkyTrain station at about 1 o'clock. The weather seems like it's holding up out here, which is a great thing. It's kind of stopped raining, but it's kind of wet now. Everything's wet. Hopefully it holds up. I'm sure there's going to be quite a few people. This is a very important march. A lot of people didn't want to. There was quite a few people at the end of lockdown marches that we've had the last 5 or 6. But this is even, in my opinion, well, just as important of an issue, because this encompasses everybody. The lockdown does affect everybody as well. But these people, these sick psychopath assholes, and these dumb idiot politicians want to push these vaccines onto the general population of the world. 7 billion people. Like, this is going to be the biggest vaccine damage scenario in world history. I saw Vax yesterday, and they were talking not only about the MMR, Vax 2 actually. I saw Vax 2, VAXXED, and then number 2. You can rent it or buy it online or whatever, but you can see Vax 1 on YouTube. I think it's available there. And they basically just interview people who've been damaged, who've been hurt by vaccines. They interview parents of children. They interview some of the children, young adults, and so forth. Well, Vax 2 kind of got into, they were talking quite a bit about the Gardasil shot that they try to give, here in Vancouver, it's the grade 6 students that receive these shots. And I don't know if the boys receive them now, but it's supposed to stop you from when you have sex, you can receive a sexually transmitted disease that causes cancer. And they have this Gardasil shot that supposed to stop you from getting cancer. So they are pushing this onto young children in grade 6. Even in my kids' school, it's a private Catholic school. Now just think of the logic of this. They're pushing this onto kids in a private Catholic school. So if you're Catholic, obviously this isn't always the case, and most people still have sex out of marriage, but just for shits and giggles, logically, the Archbishop of Vancouver should have knocked this down immediately. I'm sure he knows what's going on in regards to all these Catholic students receiving vaccinations for cancer that you're supposed to get through having sex. Well, how the fuck does that make any sense? If my kids are in a Catholic school, if you're the Archbishop of Vancouver, if you are the principal of these different Catholic schools, these high schools, these Catholic elementary schools, if you're a teacher in these schools, why the fuck aren't you asking any questions? Why aren't you asking yourself, well, if we're supposed to abide by the teachings of God, 10 Commandments, we're supposed to follow the Bible and stuff like that, how are these children, and why would these children be having sex, promiscuous sex? I'm sure, obviously, we're not going to not admit that doesn't go on. But really, wait a second here. A couple things to think about. The first one being, okay, people do have sex outside of marriage. I did. Everyone does. Okay, that's not the issue here. The big issue, first of all, is if these religious leaders are supposed to be they're supposed to be on the side of God, and they're supposed to be for, truth and honesty. You're letting people inject God knows what into children's bodies. So I find that to be a massive issue. My children never did receive the shot, but I heard that there was at least one girl in my kid's school probably just about 2-3 years ago. She received the shot and she was hospitalized for at least a week or two, and she couldn't move her fucking legs. So obviously I would think that the principal of her school would know about this. Obviously I would think that the teacher of her classroom in my kids' elementary school, Catholic elementary school, a religious school, would know this. So why are they still continuing these fucking shots on these poor children? These children, grade 6, in Catholic schools, they're not having sex, you fucking assholes, you stupid parasite scumbags. And I'm talking to the Catholic leaders in our communities. Like, what the hell are you guys thinking? Turning a blind eye, not saying anything. Shh, I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. Yeah, keep saying that. Keep saying that. Meanwhile, more and more children are getting vaccine damage, are getting hurt, having massive issues because of this specific Gardasil shot, this fucking vaccine. I think Merck is behind it. It doesn't really matter which pharmaceutical company is behind it. That's a different scenario. But the bottom line is someone's behind it. Someone's making billions of dollars. We don't need to have a vaccine from a sexually transmitted disease. Here's something for you. Why don't you just put a condom on? That'll stop you from getting cancer from having sex, which is a bunch of bullshit. And of course they've are in the works, or they have now created a different version of the Gardasil shot for males, of course, because they want us to keep taking more and more and more vaccines. They want us to keep taking more and more and more prescription pills because they want to make more and more money. Just think about it. If you were in a pharmaceutical giant's position and you wanted to make more and more money every year, what do? You try to find more reasons to give people more vaccines. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. But what we should be asking is, do we really need to take these vaccines? Do we really need to give our children a Gardasil shot in grade 6 across the world? Specifically in my kid's school, it's supposed to be a religious school, so the kids shouldn't be having sex. And I don't think any of these fucking kids are having sex in grade 6. Are you insane? And people, teachers at my school, the principal, why aren't they asking these simple questions? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this shit out. It's very simple to do, and they know this. And if they don't know this, they shouldn't be teachers, because that means you're very stupid. Or either you're compromised. They're not compromised, but they're just idiots. They don't pay attention. They don't want to ruffle feathers, and they don't want to think about it. They're just like, yeah, well, health experts are telling us this. Health experts, these are people who just want to make money. They want to make money. And everyone bowing down to these fucking vaccine manufacturers. Meanwhile, all our children are getting damaged. And meanwhile, they're creating more and more vaccines. Now we have to take a COVID-19 vaccine? Like, when is this insanity? When is it going to stop? When's it going to stop? Watching that show last night, Vax 2, I tell you, they did it in a way so it really makes you wake up, and it actually tags, it pulls at your emotions. They have children there. They show the children before they were vaccinated. They show the children after they were vaccinated, and they're not the same people. Some of these women can't walk anymore. They're completely paralyzed. They used to be, in dance class, just regular teenage girls and stuff like that, doing dance, having fun. Now they can't even fucking walk. Some of them are in wheelchairs. One kid was paralyzed from the neck down, quadriplegic. He had to breathe through a hole in his throat, and that child ended up taking his own life. He killed himself. Well, how did he do it? He probably just pulled the cord out of his throat. Very easy. And you don't hear these stories. You don't hear these stories on the national news. You won't even hear about Vax 2 probably, because they want to hide this information. They want to keep making as much money as possible. They don't care who they hurt. They simply don't care. And the thing is, they have the vaccine injury fund. Look it up. In the United States, I found that they have a vaccine injury fund in Quebec here in Canada as well. I didn't find anything in British Columbia, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So with the vaccine injury fund, basically you receive money, you get compensated. This is a special kind of court specifically designed for people who are injured from vaccines. And sorry guys, just gotta fix this for a minute here. especially designed for people, kids, families that have loved ones who've been injured for vaccines. So you get money, but part of the equation is you don't discuss it. So there's basically, what do they call it? Some kind of order where they're not allowed to talk about it. They can't post about it. They get paid. Here's your money, now shut the fuck up and go away. This is all done through the government, and the vaccine manufacturers can continue pumping their poison into all of our children, and now they want to push the COVID-19 vaccine onto us. So, like I said before, you got to start standing up. It doesn't take much. Share information. Wake up. This should be not a mandatory issue, which they said it's not, but if you look at Phase 4 of the BC Reopen Plan, Phase 4 requires that either there's herd immunity or large amounts of vaccinations, and they say that that's the only way that we can get back to large gatherings. And they also said in that Phase 4 reopening, which is going to be after September, that's the only way they can have international travel. Now you need to think about it on the other foot then. So we're not going to receive people from international countries until either there's some kind of herd immunity or most likely some kind of vaccines that have been implemented. So that means that this plan obviously is going to be around the world, because the World Health Organization dictates to all of the countries, all of the provinces and states, and all of the cities worldwide. So that means we won't be able to travel unless, of course, there's herd immunity around the world, or more likely there's going to be mass vaccinations around the world. And we're going to have to prove that we're vaccinated in order for us to travel. Just watch and see if that happens, because the chances of that happening are very, very likely. And like I said before, if most people recover from COVID-19, especially if you're a person like me, just 48, 49 years old, if you're not in your 60s or 70s, if you don't live in a care home, if you're a little kid, do you really need to take this vaccine? It's such a cut and dry issue, so stupid that our politicians are wanting us and pushing these vaccines. It really makes you wonder if they're compromised, they're greedy, or just stupid. But in any case, they're definitely screwing us over. So it doesn't really matter what their agenda is. I really don't care what their agenda is. But my agenda is to stop all this nonsense. I don't want anyone receiving it. I don't want mandatory or not mandatory. I don't even want these vaccines available, because I know it's going to hurt people. It's an unnecessary vaccine. Just like the rdasil shot, just like the MMR shots. They're unnecessary. And if they're going to push COVID-19 onto 7 billion people, now you think how many people are going to get hurt? How many people are going to die from this vaccine? Out of 7 billion people, it's going to be quite a bit, obviously. And the really big issue here, unlike COVID-19, where you can make the case, well, it's just, this is something that happened, we couldn't have stopped it and stuff like that. So people died. But here we have a choice. We don't have to actually kill people. We don't actually have to get our children or us to be injured and hurt from these stupid vaccines. The easiest way to do that is simply not to take the vaccines. We don't need to take these stupid vaccines. Just because they're telling us that the vaccine is coming and nothing's going to return to normal until we receive a vaccine, who gives a shit what the hell they think? These people are parasite scumbags. You don't have to listen to them. They are not here to help us at all. Sure, they get on the news and everybody thinks that for some reason these people know more than we do. Yeah, they know more than we do. They know that they're going to either fill their pocketbooks with an extra couple $1 million if they promote this vaccine. That's what they know. Well, I tell you what I know. I know these vaccines are going to be dangerous, and this is going to be the biggest vaccine experiment in world history, where they're trying to push COVID-19 vaccines when they're available onto 7 billion people. So you don't tell me you don't think that's dangerous? I think that's 10 times more dangerous than the actual COVID-19 common flu that they're making seem like is the deadliest disease ever to hit mankind. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I know I keep talking about the same thing, but today we're going to be having a march here in Vancouver at Adrian Dix's office, Health Minister of British Columbia. His office is located on Joyce Street. I forget the exact address. It's like a block north of the Joyce SkyTrain station. So if you really want to come, you can easily find out where it is. It's important you guys come out, man. This is like, these people are pushing us around like a bunch of rag dolls, and everyone's just taking it. There's lineups of people, like I said 1,000 times, people wearing masks everywhere. You got to go to Whole Foods and they give you a mask now. They want you to wear a mask in Whole Foods. If you don't have one, they state that you need a mask to go into the store. The guy gave me a mask. I said, no, I don't want to wear a mask. I don't need one. No, thank you. And I kind of basically said it like that, like kind of basically standing up for myself. No, I don't want that. No, thank you. And either does my daughter. We don't need that. Thank you very much. And we just walked into the store. He was cool about it, just a security guard. But these are the things that you have to do. You have to be defiant a little bit. You don't have to start trouble. Just stand up and stand straight and have a little bit of a tone reverse. No, thank you. I don't want to receive that. Thank you very much. I'm not interested in that. And you can just bullshit. You can just say, I can't breathe properly. I don't want to pass out. I have issues with that. I have a breathing problem. Just bullshit if you have to. These people lie to us all day. Why can't we lie to them so we can keep our rights? Do what you have to take. Do what's necessary for you. Do what's necessary for you, guys. In this day and age, we shouldn't have to fight for these ridiculous to stop these ridiculous problems. It's completely unnecessary, but we have to do what we have to do. If they're going to try to push unnecessary vaccines on us, we're going to have to push back with anything we can, because there's no way I'm going to get vaccines. There's no way anybody that I know is not going to be informed about this. I'm going to tell everybody I can, and once again, it's going to be your choice if you want it. But after you look at the information, I don't think most people would want to take the choice of getting vaccinated for the common flu. And like I said before, we're going to get this vaccination this year. Well, how about next year when, there's a stronger version, COVID-20, COVID-21, COVID-22. You're going to take vaccines forever? Every time you take these vaccines, it screws up your immune system more and more. Do you realize that people who take vaccines, they get sicker easier, they have longer versions, they have longer sick times. It takes them longer to get better. My kids have never been vaccinated, and they barely ever get sick. It's very, 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 very small chances of them. They just never get sick. If they do get sick, and it lasts for like a day, and they're done. Compared to I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just saying I'm comparing it to the classmates who've been vaccinated. And if my kid's out of school for like a day, the other kids in the school who have been vaccinated are out of school for 4 days, 3-4 days or whatever. So don't take the vaccines. Stop taking all these vaccines. Every time you take a new vaccine, it fucks you up even more and more and more. So stop taking them. Stop taking them. Build up your immune system the natural way. Eat healthy. Eat healthy, be healthy. Go for walks and stuff like that. We don't need all this shit they're pushing at us. Everything that we need is on planet Earth. Anything that's been created by man, for the most part, is unnecessary, specifically when it comes to health. Everything is here. We have all the fruits, all the vegetables, all the different plants. Everything that Mother Nature has given us and that we need is here. Anyways, I'm rambling. Thanks for watching this video. I do appreciate it. And I hope to see you at today's march. It's very important. And that's it. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot, guys.
COVID-19! COVID-19!